Hi, you must be Lisa. I'm Troy Samuels, the HR director. Hope you haven't been waiting too long. Please have a seat over here.
You want to conduct the interview here?
This really isn't a formal interview. I've already read your resume. I just have a few questions about it.
Certainly. I was under the impression that I was interviewing with you today for the operations manager position.
Well, that's where I have a couple questions, Ms. Gregory. We're looking for someone with critical leadership skills in a high-stress, high-production environment. I didn't see anything on your resume that would indicate you have this type of management experience.
Actually, it's Mrs. Gregory. And I'm sure that my resume showcases my abilities and attributes in that very area.
Not from what I read, I'm afraid. In fact, the only thing that remotely sounded like management experience was your indication of, here it is, a senior staff NCO with a service support battalion?
It actually says Combat Service Support Battalion. It also says a tour in Iraq and one in Afghanistan.
Well, yes, but isn't that just a fancy new way for the Army to say in the rear with the gear?
In the rear. Admit it. You read my resume and determined that because I'm a woman, I am not capable of handling a crisis situation, no matter what my position in the military was. And FYI, Mr. Samuels, there is no rear in either theater. But I wouldn't expect you to know that, having never been there yourself.
That was completely uncalled for.
Not exactly, sir. Your belittling of my service already set the tone for this conversation. You see, I did my homework. As any aspiring applicant should do, I researched the company I was applying to. For instance, when the inevitable question of what I offer this company was going to come up, my answer would be compliance.
Well, we already have that, Mrs. Gregory, and I certainly don't want to waste any more of your time.
Actually, you don't, sir. For instance, did you know that this company did over $23 million of business with the Department of Defense last year? That it employs over 1,400 people? How many of those are veterans?
I don't think that's really relevant here.
Title 38, United States Code, Section 4212D, requires you to meet a certain threshold regarding the hiring of veterans. It also requires you to openly disclose those facts with the United States government. I did the research, sir. It's a Vets 100 report. It's a report you failed to file last year. But as the HR department head, I'm sure that you would be aware of that fact. You see, the Army taught me how to do my job and how to know the regulations that I need to comply with. Life is about lessons, Mr. Samuels. You're either teaching them or learning them. So don't worry, you didn't waste my time.